Siri, play I Like Greens and Cornbread.
Okay, here's I Like Greens and Cornbread by Pleasure.
Don't wanna quit it, across the nation, every station. Feels so good, cause it feels like it should. On the floor, down low, here we go, party hardy for sure. Non-stop, to the top, for the best, nothing less. Do your dance, y'all, come on freelance, y'all. Hit your step, yep, y'all. I like greens and cornbread. Go ahead, waffles and fried chicken.
We've been talking a long time, but I have two more questions if you'll just humor me.
Oh, wow. No, I'm cool. I thought that we were wearing you out, Scott.
Well, there's two more things I think viewers are going to want to know, and I want to know. And that is, one, what is the most unforgettable memory you have from the road? If anything stands out, whether it's funny or it was like an amazing crowd, whatever it might be. And who has one popping into their mind first?
Well, there's a couple of them. I think for one of the great moments for me was the first time we played in Philadelphia.
Oh,
the first time we played what was the theater called? The Tower? What was it called?
I thought it was called the Schubert Theater. But
it might have been the Schubert.
I could be wrong.
Now keep in mind that the band is isolated over there in the Northwest. We had no idea of the success level of the band. Portland has its own entity, and we have fans there, and they're great and wonderful. We just didn't know how far it extended until I think that was the first defining moment for me when I found out that we walked in there to play. Do the sound check, and next thing you know, there's a line going around the block, waiting in the middle of the day while we're sound checking to hear us play. And so I'm like, are these people? Are they coming to see us? Or as a matter of fact, they were. I mean, we had no idea. At least I didn't have any idea of the gravity of the people that really enjoyed what we did until we actually left Portland, until we started getting on the road, and we started finding out that I guess there is a fan base for us.
What year was that, Nate?
God, 1977?
6 or 7.
66 or 7, yeah.
Yeah, he's right. That was a defining moment, and I'll just add either more to the lore of it or
the funny part,
because we headlined that show over Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes featuring Teddy Pendergrass, and they're from Philadelphia. Which is crazy. And Grover Washington, who was the heart and soul and the jazz native son of Philadelphia, Professor Grover Washington Jr., came and played with us on the stage a great deal of the night. I mean, it was a crazy thing. And if that wasn't enough, when we got done, none other than Daryl Dawkins, who was known as the
Chocolate Thunder.
Chocolate Thunder. He sure did. He got it.
For the Philadelphia 76ers, took us all out to this incredible, futuristic club called Oz. It was unbelievable. But that wasn't, I'd say that was probably, that had to be one of the hallmark road experiences right there.
Yeah, he had many nicknames, Daryl Dawkins, but that was one of them.
Sitting in a limousine with him was like being very afraid. That's a big man. That's a big brother. That brother,
he had his head out of the.
We had a great time. Go ahead, Scott.
Did he have his head out of the moonroof or what?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's just kind of like, I'm just gonna be real quiet, smile, just go, brother, this is really cool.
Yeah. We had a lot of great moments. We had some serious ones too. Remember when we got in that car wreck? What happened? We had the truck got in the car accident, and all of our gear was sprawled out all over the freeway. Your sense, your roads, your echoplex was all in the grass.
This guy, it's true. Yeah,
where was that?
Yeah, I think we're on our way to L.A. Maybe. I can't remember.
I think so. Yeah,
I know we were on. Yeah, I think we were on I-5. Yeah, that was just awful.
No one got hurt. No one got hurt.
No one got hurt.
No one got
Thank
hurt.
God.
That's good.
Yeah. That's funny. Okay, here's one, and this is the last one. We're playing. We are playing with LTD. LTD is headlining. We're in the Fabulous Forum in Los Angeles, and they put us in the Lakers locker room as our dressing room, our green room, and we're getting ready, and we don't realize it, but none other than Magic Johnson has been laying in wait in the dressing room to surprise us. He comes out, and Bruce Carter goes, "It's Magic Johnson." And we're like, "No, and we all look over, and there's Magic Johnson standing there. We're like, "Oh my God, it's you!" And he took us out after the gig. And I mean, like, I don't know how late we stayed out, but it was a phenomenal night. He took us out to a club. We had dinner. It was crazy. So there's another crazy night.
Well, that had to be then the early 80s because he joined him in 80. So
there you go.
Yeah. Two basketball star stories. And I went to one of the NBA Finals games between the Lakers and the Sixers at the Forum. When it was Showtime and Dr. J, and that was awesome.
Yeah, incredible. That would have been something to see.
Yeah. Well, those are good stories. Thanks for sharing them. I want to ask the other question I had, which is, looking back and reflecting back on the Pleasure story, what are you most proud about?
Well, I'll lead off and be short. I am really proud of the discography, the music, I feel that it's made the kind of trajectory and the kind of direction that for us, I believe it's a really easy blueprint to follow. I mean, I think we know exactly where we can go, and that's what this record, when you say that you can understand where this record is, it's because the blueprint was very, very easy for us to understand about ourselves. And I think that's, for all that we've been through, for all of the drama and all the heartbreak, and there's been a lot of heartbreak on every side by every person, it's because we were all very true to ourselves and very true to our beliefs. And because of that, something was distilled about this sound that is an incredibly diverse sound that we now know exactly where we need to go. And we know how to find the guidance to go there. And so that's my take on what I'm most proud of, what I think is most defining in a positive way.
It's funny, you avoided being formulaic, but there's a definite Pleasure formula.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yes, there is. That's exactly right. And we don't always know how it will make itself known. Like, we don't know what the configuration of things will be. We didn't think or know that we were going to have female vocalists. We didn't know we were going to have the incredible spoken vocal stuff that Sylvia McCullough brought, and her incredible performance on Summertime along with Tiffany Wilson. We didn't know any of that when we started. But that's how Pleasure does it. You
probably didn't know that Siri would be doing it either.
No, I was driving, and I told Siri to play I Like Greens and Cornbread, and she said it. And then I could never make her say it again. So I had to go on the internet and find out how to make Siri say what you want. And then I told Nate about it, and Nate said, that would be fantastic. So I figured out how to do it. I sent it to him, and he assured me, man, people are going to love that. And that's what happened.
Yeah, see, it's modern.
Yeah. That's great. So to answer your question, I think what I'm most grateful for in terms of what we've done is that I'm really happy that though we followed our instincts and we did what we felt, that it worked out, because none of this comes from. I mean, we try to formulate and do what we do, but we know there's a higher spirit that makes it all happen. I mean, it's no question about it. I mean, some of the things that happen on those records it's just it's not from
Nope. Yeah.
It's a blessing.
Yeah,
really
we can't
is.
say we just did it. We didn't will it to happen by any means.
We were methodical and cerebral at times too, but but at the same time, but even that is still a gift. I mean, it's all a gift, man. And so I'm happy about each record that we've done in this increment. I mean, you talk about the first record. We're young, and there's a progression of maturity as we go along. You can hear it along the way. You can listen to all the records in a row. So I'm most happy with the fans going along for the ride with us and enjoying us as we just try to do what we do, and to end up at a new beginning of this new Phoenix of the new record. That I think that's really, really special to me. It's really special. When we did this project, because it sat in the can for a little while, and we didn't do anything with it. We finished it like last year, maybe, or something like that. And you always think that you start second guessing yourself. Oh, is this going to be okay? Is it in the back of your mind though? You think, you pray about it, you say, okay, I think it sounds great. I think it sounds good. But there's no one to. Michael's a cheerleader. He's cheering. I think it sounds great. So but there's you don't get enough feedback from it. You don't know. But now that it's only been out for 2 weeks now that I'm hearing the feedback, I'm like, oh, I'm so really grateful that people that we get guided in the right direction. I think we're okay with this. And so those are the things that that's what I'm most happy about. All the other projects as well as this one. I mean, it's a continuation. I'm just happy about it.
Well, if you're hoping to gain new fans, if it's encouragement for you, my 14-year-old son is digging the back to Now's the Time. Also, he's a lot of the stuff I listen to, he knows I'm off deep into funk and stuff, and he's not into all of it. He does like Prince and people like that, but he's like, this one's pretty good.
That's fantastic.
There you go.
That's fantastic. Well, again, we're grateful that people can, at least it can speak to people. We know that the fans will make it or break it in terms of its success.
Absolutely.
We know that.
It's all on the fans.
We have to be true to ourselves. We can't try to, outguess what the fans will or will not want. But we know at the end of the day, especially a true pleasure fan, someone who really appreciates like genuine good funk music and progressive music, we understand they are very discriminating people. And when we communicate to them, when we get the feedback like we got from you today, we are so deeply gratified, and it gives us what we need to know that even if we've got some things wrong, we can get some things right if we just put our best foots forward going into the future. And that's all we want to do.
Absolutely.
Well, selfishly, I hope it's a success, just so that you'll do some more records. Because I want to.
Thank you so much.
You whetted my appetite all over again now, so now you got to keep it coming.
Well, hopefully
we're gonna use that. I don't know what's your how far you get your videos out there, but we're gonna be pointing to everybody saying, listen to Scott. Scott's got some good things to say, and he knows what he's talking about, which is the most important aspect.
That is true.
In a time, in a world, in a society where people can call things fake news or fake information or false on the fly and keep, just making it a barrage over and over of of that kind of disinformation. We know that someone who gets on your side and champions your work and your effort and your cause is a really big deal. And Nate and I have talked about this extensively. We want to forge partnerships, and we want genuine partnerships, Scott. We want people who will just tell us, that's not really getting where I'm not really feeling that. That's not, for you to be able to say what you've said, about the different points of ebbs and tides, and the crests of our products and over our career, and where you could find happiness and not, that's the truth serum for us. That's really how we learn and can grow. Otherwise, it's like we have to wait till we get to the theater and you see whether or not there's nobody there, or whether they're lined up around the corner, or else we would never know. Especially, like they said, coming from a small town, we've never had a real honest view of the outside world. And that's another handicap or disability that the band has. And even people in Portland today, many people want to tell us they can define who we are just because we come from Portland, and they don't understand. Nate lives in LA now. He's been all over the world as a musician. He knows what to do. You don't have to tell him what to do, like just because you knew him when you were like right with him and could hang with him. But we're very grateful to be able to get very insightful, knowledgeable feedback, good or bad, because to get this feedback about some of the places we've been in the course of making these records, it helps us know what we should do in the future.
Exactly.
Hey, just stay true and keep it funky, and it's all good.
Okay.
Nice.
We need a still shot of you, and with that T-shirt on, and just go, stay true, and then the new line, and keep it funky. Hey, stay true, and keep it funky. Yo, stay true.
You made my job easy because the record's so good. If it wasn't, I would have been in an awkward position here. So.
Well, what's interesting is that it's a lot of groups will do comeback records, and it's not the same. And I don't know why that is. It's different. I don't know if it's a thing where they've mellowed out. I think we talked about this a little bit before. They mellowed out, or they're trying to fit into what's happening now. I don't know what it is, but I think I'm just grateful that with us, Michael and I and the rest of the guys, I think we just kind of had blinders on. We were like, this, okay, we're going to make this record the way Pleasure would make a record. Let's just do it like that. Keep all the formulas that we like. Touch on what's going on. Touch on a little bit, like you said earlier, of some of the new thing, but not too much of it. Just enough, just to get a sprinkle of it. But try to stay true to that live, energetic, and
that's what you have to do. I don't know why it is. I've talked about this in other shows. Funk and R&B bands in particular, for some reason, seem to have trouble doing that. If you look at like a lot of the rock bands, they'll continue. If you look at like a ZZ Top or a AC/DC, or these groups kept their identity musically, and they still bring it like they always brought it, and the fans appreciate that. But the funk bands just kind of mostly stopped bringing it for some reason. And Parliament Funkadelic is the exception, for example. Right.
They're always become funky regardless. And I think Kool and the Gang too. Kool and the Gang has had a long career. Those guys, that stems back to the 60s, right? And they managed to resurrect themselves back in the 80s with all those other hits too. And those songs were great too. Those hits they had in the 80s, ladies' night and all, was killing stuff. But there are other acts out there. You just you're listening to them and saying, "Wow, are you trying to be the current what's happening today, or are you just trying to be yourself?" And
bringing the hip hop elements is really not a good idea.
It's tricky. It's a tricky slope, man. It's very, very tricky. You have to. I don't know who's done it successfully in terms of old bands that have tried to make a comeback. I don't know. I can't think of any.
Not too many.
You guys are talking, and I agree with everything you said, Scott, wholeheartedly. except when you just like you both acknowledge having like some connectivity to what's happening now. So just that, when you say that, and then Scott, I hear you say, but don't add that hip hop, and it's like that reminds me of a really good story of Marion McPartland and Wynton Marsalis. And Marion McPartland was talking about all the different kind of genres that she likes, and Wynton's talking about, yeah, this is good, and this is that, and this is good, and that's that, yeah, and this is good too, and I love that, and I enjoy this kind of music. And then she said, but that rap, I just don't like that rap, you know, I don't like what it, and their language is so rough and all the cursing. And Wynton says, well, with all due respect, you know, Miss McPartland, you know, I actually use some of that language.
And I think
hip hoppers didn't invent that language.
Exactly. Right. Exactly.
The jazz cats.
I'm just saying, you know, 808 drum machines and you know, and spins and you know, DJ scratches. I mean, some of the things that hip hop has brought. We love all of the elements of what's going on now. We would never want to make a hip hop pleasure record. You're absolutely on the money. But I do want to say, when you touched on how it is that you do want to be able to reflect being a part of being in today's, like in the moment of the time. And I can't tell you how we could not get over Nate bringing the first beatbox way back in the day. Do you remember that, Nate?
The Rhythm King?
The Rhythm King, baby. That was like, oh, we thought we had landed on the moon. Oh my God. We were like, oh, this is so futuristic. And it was going like, and we were like, oh, we getting ready to get funky now. You know, because Sly had done so much great stuff with the Rhythm King. But, you know, so I do want to just say, I love a lot of what's going on right now. I do. Yeah, I'm influenced by a lot of stuff, man.
I don't want to be mistaken. I'm not condemning hip hop. It's when the groups from the past come back and they force it.
Yeah, right? We don't know. Yeah.
It's got to be natural and organic. I mean, I love like when Herbie Hancock came and brought some of that into his
There
band.
you go. Oh my God.
You got to do it right, and it's a slippery slope.
It's a slippery slope. You know, that's the thing. And
Rocket was off the chain.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
Rocket was off the chain.
Everything Herbie does is off the chain. I can't even think of not one thing that I don't like.
It's true. Everything Herbie does is off the chain.
But when you listen to, talking about the new record, when you listen to the first song, Pleasure for Your Pleasure, I made an effort just to try to grab some of those turnarounds and, you know, some of those things that flip and, you know, maybe the 808 doing a drop here and there, you know, I tried to use it in a way to where, you know, it's there, but you still got that live band playing around.
Yeah, because that's the way. That's pleasure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I mean, we love all that stuff because it's all about texture, you know.
Yeah.
And that tactile thing that hip hop brings, it's so tactile.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't want to be misconstrued, because I do not like or advocate bands stay where they were. You should always be trying forward,
always moving forward,
to incorporate new things, new sounds, new elements, new styles, new combinations. Always searching for that. But it's when you're trying to force it, it's not organic, and you try to be trendy, and you're trying to watch the charts and manipulate a hit or something. That's where it goes sideways.
Yeah, we didn't come with a copy of Uptown Funk. That's for sure.
and I love that's all I listen to. You know,
we love that cut. We talked about that cut so much, man.
So this dude is so funky, man.
Killing.
It's so funky, man. Like I said, we had to put the blinders on. Okay, we love that. We love it. But we know, we know where that came from. It's just the '80s thing. He's doing his thing. Thank you very much for acknowledging that part of it and help bringing that back to the fold. So we're going to do our thing too, and pray that people will hear it and understand that and recognize it, and maybe we get a little piece of the pie, in the long run. Go and play a few gigs.
Yeah, we're really,
we're
we're hopeful that this whole, discussion about old school will be very, very helpful for people to rediscover us, because, we think that we bring a lot of the best of what the integrity of that era in a way that's very, very, very well put together. That's who we are.
If you get out there again, just promise me that you'll definitely do some of the new material, because when the bands get out there and they only do the old stuff, it disappoints me.
Right, exactly.
Well, we don't want, you have a show, Scott, so we don't want you on your show going, the one thing I cannot understand about what Pleasure is doing right now is how could they go out and have a tour and play for an hour and a half or 2 hours and not play a single thing from their new material? I don't understand it. We don't want to go there. We ain't gonna go there for you, babe. We're gonna do you. We're gonna do you right.
Audiences might love it, but you gotta.
That's the thing. That's the thing. And the other side of that is you play an original piece, a new piece, and people, that's all right, man. Yeah, y'all should have played. And that's
that's okay.
But y'all didn't play my jam.
Y'all didn't play my jam. I need to hear my cut right
It's
now.
hard. You got to sneak them in there until they get,
You got to sneak them in there, right? You got to get them in there, man. At the end of the day, I think we're happy to play it all. We definitely want to play a couple of the new things and play all the stuff that people want to hear.
I think that's the great thing is if we do get to do what live performance the way we really want, it's not a little show. It's not.
That's the issue with that too.
Because we would want to stretch out. We want to stretch stuff out. We want people to be able to play. I mean, that's
not cheap going out there with a horn section and that many people. I mean, we're really lost a lot of horns in the '80s.
Yeah.
When you ask us, we have to say to you, yeah, we really want to do it, but we don't want to go out there with a bunch of electronics, and a bunch of smoke and mirrors and.
I forget I saw the Ohio Players in the late '80s. Was so disappointed they had no horns.
Yeah, of course.
They had no
come
horns
on.
They were using a synthesizer for the horn.
Bow! You got to hear that stuff. You can't be going to hear Ohio Players without them horns.
Yeah, got
it. But who knows what happened? I mean, it could have been a situation where they, sometimes, man. If the horn player
the horn players just said, we're not getting paid enough. We're not going out there tonight. We're not going out there. Nate and I, Scott, are you okay hanging with us? Have we been? I mean, you're all right because you can see how we kick it around, Scott. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, no, I mean this show is often a couple hours long. It's the show that goes deep in the pocket. That's the tagline. So.
I don't know if we're in the pocket or out of the pocket. But we're all having such a good time, and of course you can see Nate and I having a good time because this is how we do everything. This is how we are when we're making music, and that's it's conducive to creativity.
Yeah, the live thing is a particular hurdle because first of all, promoters they haven't heard us. They haven't heard us in a long time. So that's become a hurdle we have to address, and believe it or not, there are elements out there who do not want to hear us play. I mean, believe it sounds strange, but there have been roadblocks put in our way. Boom, 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 boom. That we have to pull over.
Some of the promoters, you mean?
Not necessarily promoting, but influence. I'll put it that way. So it's just a chore. It's going to be something we're going to have to work towards, and it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Yeah,
nothing comes easy. Nothing comes easy.
We're so grateful for how the doors have been opened just by releasing the record right now. We wouldn't be on your show if we hadn't released it. And, you know, we are hearing from people, they're saying these things. And so all we can do is continue to make these partnerships with people and let, for instance, this interview speak for itself, let people's responses speak for themselves, and hope that people can say, well, no matter how many people are either naysayers or have grievances about whether they should be in the band or whether they like the band or whether they don't like the band because somebody else is not in the band, all of those things, and just say, well, why don't we just let what they're doing speak for itself? Why don't we let that see if that has truth value to it, if it has sincerity and integrity to it, and is it fun? Is it popping? You know, is it jamming, and is it fun? And if all those things are right, then people should have a right to have a second chance to be able to just enjoy making good art and live their lives, and that's what we're hoping for.
Well, I truly believe that once people hear the record, I think it will satisfy most Pleasure fans, and musically anyway. I just believe that. I just feel that way. I feel confident enough about it.
I can promise you it will. And I just want, for the record, you know, I was moving ahead and planning for the Pleasure story on Truth and Rhythm, totally oblivious to knowing that new record was coming. So, I mean, you know, that's a kind of
crazy. I did not know
wow.
that.
Okay.
I thought that I really thought that you were reacting from the release of the record.
No, not at all. So I said that was total.
You want to see my shock face?
total icing on the for me. You know, yeah. No, I was trying to get.
That's fantastic. Well,
yeah.
That sounds that's kind of like synchronicity. So that's really great. That's fantastic. Wow.
So how can everybody keep up with Pleasure now? What's the best way?
I think they need to email us. I think that's the first step. There is a Pleasure, what do you call it? Facebook page. You know, we monitor it. We don't control it. But if people, you know, say, hey, I've heard the record, I want to talk more about it or whatever, we will definitely, you know, contact them. Both Nate and I are on Facebook, and I can tell you that the friend request increases have been substantial since it's come out over these last 2 weeks. You know, and you know, maybe you can tell us if there are other ways, other portals that, you know, you think. But just to start off with, my 2 cents is we can give you a couple of email addresses for people to be able to just pipe in, talk to us, connect with us, and we can go from there.
All right.
I think. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, did you want to give email address right now?
You can put them up on the credits.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's not a problem. Did you want to add something else, Nate?
I was just going to say that just reach out to us any way you can. I mean, Facebook's a good platform. Just let us know if you listen to the project, what your thoughts are, if you like it. I think the more people that hear the project, I think it increases our chances of being able to do more in terms of more projects, live performances. Because I think at the end of the day, that's really what it's about. I think, you know, people want to see us play, I think, and just reach out to us. Just reach out, say hey, say you like it, say you hate it, whatever. You know, just give us feedback, and we are working on doing a tour, putting a tour together. That's one of the next goal amongst doing this next single and the next record next year. So the more people that know about it, the better the chances are of us being able to come to the city near you.
That's really the way it works too. I mean, that if we get enough people responding saying, I want to hear Pleasure, it's like all we got to do is just, go to promoters and say, look at all these people who want to hear Pleasure. Don't you want to be a part of that?
Yeah. Well, Truth and Rhythm fans got to speak out. I'm sure they will. What avenues can they use to get the record? Is it on Amazon or CD Baby or where? It
is pretty much everywhere. It's not on CD Baby, but you can buy it on iTunes. It's on Napster, which used to be Rhapsody. It's on
Amazon.
It's on Amazon. It's on Spotify, Pandora, and a huge host of streaming services. So if you use a subscription service, if you use a streaming service, if you want to buy it and download it, you certainly can from either Amazon or iTunes. I will add this. I don't know if this is true about Amazon, but with iTunes, we have a digital booklet, which is a throwback to the old albums of the past. This is a genuine throwback, old school record. It has a digital booklet that has the lyric sheets in a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful background. It has a beautiful additional artwork. It's actually a fantastic package, but you only get the digital booklet from what I've seen so far if you buy it on iTunes.
iTunes.
Are there going to be any physical copies?
Well, we have the idea of selling CDs when we tour. So that's where the CDs will be sold. We think, and we're talking about the prospect of a vinyl version of the record by a fantastic UK guy, but that may be like next year that the vinyl comes out. Mm-hmm. And vinyl pressings are very limited. It's not like old record companies. And today, it's not by our choice, by any standard. It's not like CDs are just like the popular medium anymore. People want the less expensive MP3s, MP4s, and they want to be able to just download it onto their phones or their digital, playing devices. And so that's why this first iteration of the release fits the broadest, most popular, medium. Now, having that said, are you inquiring, Scott, because you would like a CD?
Well, I definitely want a CD, and I think there definitely will be fans out there that will want physical copies also. If I was picking one way or the other, whether to do the downloads and the streaming or a CD, I would do the downloading and the streaming. Mm-hmm. But that said, there's definitely, I believe, an audience for the physical copies as well.
Yeah, well, that's not out of the question. I mean, it can happen if there's enough demand for it.
That's just a matter of dollars and cents. I mean, if we have a demand that would pay for us to get it to do the manufacture, it's like we can't subsidize everything and make a whole bunch of CDs for like a few people who want them. But but I'm just telling you right now, if you get from from the Truth in Funk Nation. Let the church say hallelujah. Let the church say amen. For the Truth in Funk Church. If the Truth in Funk Church wants to do CDs and they let enough know, we can definitely get them made.
Yeah, we actually have some of the few very limited that are there may be a few circulating out there right now.
Yeah, we like we have family and friends and stuff, but we knew we couldn't afford to just like commit to mass manufacture of the CD package, because I just told you it's like a real throwback album. So it's not just like cheap. It's not like those thin little packages that
Yeah. No, I've seen the booklet. Nate was good enough to send me a copy. Very nice. Immediately I was like, this is cool. It's got the lyrics. It's got.
So you have the CD?
Yeah,
No.
download.
I have the digital booklet though.
Oh yeah, okay. Because I'm just telling you, for people who we wanted to give something very commemorative, we made a few CDs, but we figured get the record out there. Number one, get it out there in the way that artists are supposed to get it out there. So number one, we could demonstrate to people we know how to make a record in the 21st century. I mean, we really have to satisfy a lot of questions related to how this is supposed to work. We couldn't have made like 10,000 CDs and then say the record is out. It's available on CD only. So we're just just trying very hard to do things in the most conservative and conventional way to get it out there.
And I think we'll know very soon. Since it's only been out 2 weeks, we'll know, because I've already been hearing blips and people wanting the CD version. So it may be something that we have to do, and provide it and make it available.
I happen to know, even in this day and age, I know some funk guys who will only still buy physical copies. So just food for thought.
I hear you.
Yeah, I'm not one of them.
I want the hard evidence. I don't want the ones and zeros. I want the real deal. I want to hold it in my hand.
Well, it looks like it's probably something that's gonna happen. We'll
really want vinyl. I'm gonna tell you what I would love is for this record, because I would love for it to have that depth, that that real speaker shaking depth. Man, I'd love for it to be, on
for
the
sure.
wax.
Yeah. So when we've been talking a long time. When might myself or anyone else be able to see some of that video you were talking about of the recording?
I'm going to tell you how you can get just a teaser right now. So you want to go to the official Pleasure YouTube channel. And there's a video posted called Pleasure, A New Beginning. And we were so excited in 2015 when we had the first session that we posted it, and it's banging. I can just tell you right now, when you hear it and see it, it's like, oh, they really back at it. And that's one of the reasons why, for me, I was really kind of floored when someone told me that promoters said, well, they haven't played in 30 years. And I'm like, no, baby, we on YouTube right now playing all together, and we're in the studio, so it really has to be good. We're all playing at the same time. So how can you say we're not playing together or that we couldn't play together live? That's kind of crazy. But that's how people are, and we'll just have to accept the challenges that we get. But we should stay in touch, Scott, and if you can't find it, give me your email and stuff so that, I got your email because you emailed me the link to log in. So I'm going to email you a link to that YouTube channel, and then you can post that link on your, and you can post it. You'll be able to post it when you edit this video, and people can go to it and see the very beginnings of the making of this record. And I'll give everybody a big hint right now. What they're hearing is they'll first hear what the core was to what became For Your Pleasure, and then it segues into what you hear in most of Back to Alabama. And if you know those tunes, you'll actually be able to tell, oh man, this is what Alabama is, and this is like, and you'll be able to see what it is we changed, what it is we kept, and but we all were playing it at the same time, right then and there. And it wasn't like we went in there one at a time, or we took a drum machine and laid down a drum groove, and then somebody went in and they put a bass line on it, or I scattered over a guitar line and then we fleshed it out. No, baby, we went in old school and we played it.
Beautiful. That's the beautiful thing. I love the different parts of the Alabama track too.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And then Michael was thinking ahead that he taped every single day of those sessions with various cameras all over the studio. So it's It's one of the few things that we have as far as video of us. We went through all those years of playing live and all that, and no one thought to tape the band for the live performance. Our band,
I looked on YouTube. I didn't really see much.
Nothing. So it's like, whoa. I think about that. I'm like, God.
Can I just add? Let me piggyback on that.
I didn't mean to get back to that.
This is the most. This is, again. This is just my little, opinion thing. Okay, about pleasure. And it's funny because you said, what are the most incredible things you remember from the road? This is by far the singular most important experience for me on the road, and something I'm just so proud of. Nate started putting the bass on his back like this and playing. Was it Glide, Nate?
It was probably, I think it was the only song that I do a bass on.
Think about the bass figure that Glide demands. He would put the bass on his back and play it. And people no one could believe it. We couldn't believe it at first, and then we got used to it because it became part of the show. But it was like, oh my God. Oh my God. Like you've seen guitar players playing with the teeth. Nathaniel is an ultimate performer. He just hasn't been seen being able to do what he can do. And I'm just pointing this out to you to say, yeah, that should have been videoed. Yes, it should have been captured. And yes, that's why I'm going to do what I can to get this talent the recognition he deserves. Because I think he's an amazing musician. So that's me. That's what I got to say.
We were having fun back then. If I tried to do that now, I'd probably be on ice for about 6 months.
Yeah, I'm not trying to say it's going to happen now. But I'm just
take some yoga classes before you try that.
When that started happening, and of course, it just went through the nation. Like everybody would say, "Is this the dude who plays on his back?" Like they would just say it. Is this the cat who could play on his back? And it's like, yep, that's Nate. Mm-hmm. That's him. That is the truth.
That was. There are a lot of guys who were doing that too. I don't know who did it first. But I know I don't know who did it first.
I only know you did it, and I didn't know anybody else who did it.
Well, I've only seen it on
That's why I'm talking like you're the only person in the world who ever did
it. I remember us playing with the Brothers Johnson. I don't know if I saw him do it or he saw me do it. I don't know what happened, but
that was a good night. We played with the Brothers Johnson.
That was a lot of fun, man.
That was a lot of fun. Yeah, we rocked it that night.
And where were we? Well, we did a couple of shows with them.
It was Washington State University was the biggest show. University.
Exactly, and Ricky Lawson was playing drums with them at the time.
Yes, sir.
I remember we were all in the dressing room waiting to play, and Lewis walks in with his bass. Hey, I'm Lewis Johnson. We're like, yeah, man. Hey, man, it's nice to meet you. He just walks in.
I tell you what. That's great. The whole thing about this is that, we have a lot of stories and experiences, but Lewis found out who Nate was that night. I'll just say it like that. I'm hoping
to have George on the show.
Huh?
Oh, George.
I'm hoping to have George on the show.
Oh, that'd be fantastic.
Unfortunately, Lewis, of course, not with us anymore.
Yeah. Thunder Thumbs was truly a force to be reckoned with, and I know he did so much great stuff, but for me, one of the hallmark performances on record for me was, I don't know if it's called Dance With Me or Get on the Floor and Dance With Me, but it's
Michael Jackson song?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
That figure, that's the one for me. That's the one for me.
Lewis was my man. I'll tell you a quick story. I was at a NAMM show here in might have been Anaheim years back, and Lewis was doing a booth session. He was playing by himself, and he had a it looked like it was a CD that he had made some of his song without the bass, so he was playing along with it. He had his SWR booth, so he had his bass amp, and he was playing along. He had little earphones in, I think, maybe, and the earphones fell out, and he was playing along, and then something started happening. It's in the middle of the solo of "Wanna Stomp All Night." There's a bass solo thing. He was like playing, and all of a sudden there was static. The track was going in and out. It was going in and out, in and out. So eventually it stopped altogether. It stopped, and he was still playing. He was still playing along, playing, looking back, trying to find out what the deal was, while touching knobs. And about 30 seconds into it, the track just came back on, and Lewis was still in sync with that track.
Wow.
I stood up and started screaming, man. I screamed. I said, "Oh my God, no one else got it. No one else got it." I said, "This man, his timing, his metronome is so precise. The track went away for 30 seconds, and he was playing. He kept playing, and it came back on, and he was still in sync with it." I'm like, "Okay." I went to him. I said, "Dude."
Yeah, exactly.
That was a great story. It was so great to see that, man. He was playing his behind off, of course. I love Lewis.
Wow.
Fantastic player.
What message would you like to get out there to the fan base before we say goodbye, guys?
We love you. We're back. We just want to be able to make music that you feel is really, truly pleasure, represents what pleasure is about, and take us into the future, all of us together. That's what we want.
Absolutely. We
look forward to it.
We respect the loyalty of the fans over the years, because there's been a lot of requests for us to get back together, and through the spirits and of the graciousness, it happened, and so here we are, and we just ask the fans to take a listen, and if you like it, support it, and spread the word, and so we can get out there and play for you. That's really
that's what we want.
That's what we want.
Well, it's been such a great time talking to both of you and going through the history, and so thankful to all the fantastic music that you've given to the world and that I've enjoyed throughout my life. So much appreciation, and thank you so much for being on the show, being gracious with your time, and sharing all of that with us.
Thank you so much, Scott.
Thank you
for
for
having us and giving us this incredible spotlight. It's been a fantastic interview.
Absolutely.
Thanks for taking the time to go so deep and to really, kind of get things really, truly, said and expressed. It's a big deal. Thank you for taking this time.
You're so welcome. Hey, back at the Truth and Rhythm home base. Those guys were just wonderful, weren't they? There's been a lot of very in-depth Truth and Rhythms, but this one is right up there with the deepest of them all. Even as a fan, I learned so much, and hope you enjoyed the ride as much as me. In case it was not clear, buy the new Pleasure album. Now is the time is its name and also the operative phrase for you to take action on this fully funkified release. Final special thanks out to Michael Hepburn and Nathaniel Phillips for being so generous with their time and dedication to their musical craft. Also, once again, a big thank you out to you, the viewers and supporters of this program. Thank you so much, and subscribe. Do so at the Funkin' Stuff channel on YouTube. Click subscribe. That's all there is to it. It's free. You'll get premieres before anyone else does. Tell friends, tell family. We need the support. Let these funk, jazz, and R&B artists that gave us so much enrichment in their lives know that you support and continue to love what they've done and what they've meant in all of our lives. Much appreciated. Also, write me at scottg@funkandstuff.net. Let me know who else you might want to see on the show, or just let's shoot around, talk music. I will respond, I promise you that, and we'll do so pretty quickly. A lot of email comes in. I love it. The show is yours, the music fan. So continue to keep it as a two-way dialogue, okay? With that, as always, this is Scott, Dr. G. Goldfine, signing off and saying, keep on vibrating to the rhythm of the one.
Flirtatious plays on me, gonna make me lose my mind. Your sexy energy, girl, you know you're right on time.
attention, but you hardly reply. I'm not a taker, I'm a love maker, and you say you won't